This is the best anime I have seen in a very, very long time, and that's an understatement. Terminator Zero is a 2024 Japanese English language sci-fi action anime series. It's developed by Mattson Tomlin. Also, he's the showrunner and writer. The director is Masashi Kudo. It's based on Terminator by James Cameron and Gail Ann Hurd. It runs for 8 episodes and premiered on Netflix August 29th, 2024. Perfect day because it's Judgment Day, and all 8 episodes came on simultaneously. Each episode runs between 24 to 30 minutes long. I did binge watch this in less than 4 hours, and it was freaking phenomenal. It's basically set in the same Terminator universe, but in a different way. And I'll get to that point. It's 1997 in Tokyo, and Malcolm Lee is developing what he calls Kokoro. It's an AI system intended to compete with Skynet. Now, a day before Judgment Day, he finds himself and his 3 children being pursued by an unknown Terminator or robot assassin and a mysterious soldier from the year 2022 who has been sent back to protect him. Now, the list of characters that you have to pay attention to in this is mind-blowing because there are so many characters, but the way it was done, each character gets a great amount of screen time, and I will say there is the Japanese anime version and there's the English language version. And what I mean by that is when you're watching it, you can watch it with the subtitles on and watch it where they're speaking Japanese, or you can have the dubbed version where it's all in English and it's done really, really well. Now, you have the Terminator, who's a cybernetic organism or an assassin sent back in time to eliminate Malcolm Lee. You have Aiko, who is a resistance soldier sent from the year 2022 to protect Malcolm and his kids from that Terminator that was sent back. You then have Malcolm Lee, who is a scientist developing an AI that can compete with Skynet at his own kind of system area or business. You have Kenta Lee, Raika Lee, and Hiro Lee, who are Malcolm's eldest son, only daughter, and youngest son. You have Misaki, who is Malcolm's housekeeper and the children's babysitter. You then have Kokoro, who is the AI that was developed by Malcolm, kind of the Japanese answer to Skynet. And you have the Prophet, the Resistance's spiritual leader and philosophical kind of explanation to how all this happens. It does take a while for this show to get going, I will say. The first 4 episodes are just establishing the characters. We don't know anything yet, what's going on. This is the humans versus the machines. And then once episode 4 ends, 5, 6, 7, and 8 is just mind-blowingly brilliant. The writing is exceptional. The action is really good. The animation is so crisp and clean. It's really, really underrated and really, really mind-blowing. The story is simple, straightforward, and not complex at all. You have Malcolm trying to figure out and stop Skynet because he's having these recurring nightmares, and basically like Sarah Connor had, where Judgment Day happens, everything blows up around, and it's like, whoa, you wake up and okay. And then mostly the entire series, you have Malcolm in his kind of little chamber where he's talking to Kokoro, talking about life, the existence of life, humanity, what will happen if humanity survives, what happens if they die, what will happen if the machines take over, artificial intelligence. It's just a whole back and forth between a computer and Malcolm, which is really, really interesting. Then you have Kenta, who's the eldest son, who kind of tinkers with little robotics here and there. You have Reika, who is the only daughter, very smart, very quick-witted, very, very agile and interesting. Then you have Hiro, who is the younger son, but really, really is kind of the mix between his older brother and his sister. You have Misaki, who is a very, very well housekeeper and the babysitter to the children. But, you know, Malcolm just wants her to keep an eye on them because if something happens. Aiko, badass. Love, love it. We then see that all this happens in 1997, but also, not only in 1997, it goes to 2022, 2025, 2042, 2045, 1983. Everything comes together in a story where it's very shocking and it's just really, really interesting. The way the Terminator is done in it, it's T-800 model that we all know and love that Arnold Schwarzenegger played in the Terminator movies. And, it's just, you see that, it's like, wow, this is what the T-800 is, and this is what it's supposed to do. And it's just, it's the Cyberdyne System Model 101. It can be good, it can be bad, but something like this, a Terminator movie or series, hasn't been good since Terminator 2. Yes, I will say that. Nothing has been good since Terminator 2 Judgment Day in 1991. It took this long for something like this to get out, and it's an anime that's mind-blowingly brilliant. You might find it dull at times, but it's the action that moves it forward. And there's great homages to part 1 and part 2 of the Terminator movies that James Cameron directed and also wrote. And what I mean by that is that there is a phenomenal police station shootout in this series that is kind of on par or even over what the first movie had with Arnold Schwarzenegger. But it's so well done that it's mind-blowing, and in a way where you're like, okay, this is happening now. And then you see the history that Malcolm has, what drove him to do this stuff, how the kids are connected, how Misaki's connected, how Aiko's connected, Kokoro, like the whole aspect of how everything was created, how Cyberdyne needs to stop doing what it's doing, but the real justification of, okay, is Skynet really the threat here? Who is? And there is a scene where it's reminiscent of certain aspects of humans, machines, technology. It's like, if the machines do take over, what will happen to humanity? And it's the humans that created Skynet at Cyberdyne that's like, okay, we really have to figure this out. And, Malcolm was like, I have to create something at my own Cyberdyne in a way. It's not called Cyberdyne. I think it's called Core Industries, if I'm not mistaken. And it's like he creates Kokoro. So it's like, wow. And Kokoro is like this 3-element thing with mind, body, and spirit, where it's different aspects, but it knows everything. It understands what's happening. And not only that, you have the Terminator. You have so many machines, but then you have the I-Nos, or the one nose, or however they are pronounced in this, where it's like they work at stores, they work in your home, and they help you with everyday life. But everything falls into place with this, and it's friggin' brilliant. Like, I can't believe Netflix put something out like this, especially for an anime. Like, very underrated that you get an anime series like this that is this good, that's really engaging, and it's just, wow. I would love to see what they come up with, or what other instances they would come up with certain different kind of stories in the Terminator universe if it is anime. The interesting thing is that the first episode is called Model 101, which is a reminiscent of the Cyberdyne T-800 Model 101, and each kind of episode after that is Model 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, and 108. Very quick episodes, and it's just like, it ends, and then you have to watch the next one over and over again. The ending, phenomenal. The last, I want to say, 2 episodes, really mind-blowing, and it actually explains what the hell's going on, and that's what you want. For me, this, I wanted to watch this ever since I heard they were making a new Terminator kind of show, or film for that matter, but it's an animated series. The sci-fi aspect is there. The action is there. The story is there. It's very emotional as well, which I didn't expect at all. Something that is very not there in the Terminator films or the TV shows that they do, where emotion and the family dynamic is not there. But the Japanese aspect to it, it's really there. And how everything is done, and how, since it's been like so many different years, and it's following new characters in the year 1997. A Terminator series, movie, show that focuses on different characters in a different country at a different time, talking about the same thing, Skynet, but in a different way, but not mentioning John Connor, Sarah Connor, or the aspect of, what's going on. The war is mentioned, the resistance is mentioned, and it's like, okay, what can you do? And time travel is the big thing that's mentioned. The spiritual and philosophical leader of the resistance really explains it to a point where it's understandable, and maybe how timeline or time travel should be explained, where it's one tangent line, one straight line across. But if you go back, it you go into different aspects because it's just what that is. The American voice actors is Timothy Olyphant, who plays the Terminator, and Ann Dowd, who plays the Prophet, and Kokoro is voiced by Rosario Dawson. And you have other aspects and interests of where American actors are in this, and it's just mind-blowing. But I will recommend that you watch it with the way it's intended, with is the subtitles on and it's Japanese and you hear it. It's just more powerful and the emotion is just more interesting and fun. And there are some instances where you like some characters and you don't like characters. For me, it was Kenta, who was the oldest and eldest son, but he had to make so many choices, but it was done so well. The camaraderie each character has between one another, the love, the friendship, the dynamic of family, and seeing how Malcolm just wanted to save the world and just how everything just coincided. It's like, oh, the revelation in the end, it's like, was building Kokoro to fight Skynet a good thing or a bad thing? That's the big thing about this. Phenomenal. I have nothing else to say but praise for this animated show. And if we get a second season, I don't want one because this ended perfectly. But where can you go with a second season for this? Terminator Zero is perfect. It's so pristine. It's absolutely friggin' phenomenal. I highly recommend it. I'm a huge fan of the Terminator franchise. And like I said, in this review, it took almost, 30 some years plus to get a good Terminator series or a movie out since Terminator 2 Judgment Day. That's saying something. For me, Terminator Zero gets 5 out of 5 stars. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about Terminator Zero. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What did you think about the aspect of the sci-fi feel, the action, the animation? Do you like it that it's an anime series? Did you like it that it was focused on different characters in a different country? The setting was different. And what do you think about how everything coincided? And did you like how everything was starting to unravel? And did you like the Easter eggs? And what was your favorite episode? What was your least favorite episode? And did you like that the episodes were between 25 to 30 minutes long? I know I asked just a lot of questions, but let me know in the comment section below what all the questions I just asked. I'm Mr. Filmstock. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next review video.